My name is Rob. I live in London with my wife Chantel, and I'm 34 years old. Before my accident, I was managing a small company. I rode there and back on a motorbike. In December 2009, I was doing my usual commute home from work. About 7:30 in the evening or so, I was a couple of minutes away from home. I don't remember the accident itself. Apparently a car had pulled out blind from a line of traffic. I had right of way. I wasn't speeding. My lights were on. There was nothing wrong with my bike. On the night of the accident, I had to have emergency surgery because I was losing a lot of blood, so they had to stabilise me. When I next woke up, I was in hospital being told what had happened, basically. I had some exploratory surgery on the leg. I mean, the bone was shattered and there was damage to the arteries as well. Having spoken to doctors and consultants, I was very heavily advised that amputation was by clearly the best way forward. I was given my first leg, an NHS prosthetic leg, which is not very fancy, but obviously absolutely massive relief to be able to stand on 2 feet again. After the accident in December 2010, I'd been commuting to and from the office on public transport, which was quite a lengthy commute, and combined with the pain, the general feeling that things were getting worse, I was starting to feel quite depressed. The deterioration in my physical condition also left me mentally feeling very down and adversely affected my career. I hadn't really thought that much about legal compensation whilst I was in hospital. I was, apart from being sedated, it was the immediate being able to walk again that was focused in my mind. After coming out of hospital, I met Sally Moore, who had been recommended by another amputee, or the firm lead they had. She came over to my parents' house where I was staying at the time. I found her very honest, compassionate. She clearly understood what I was going through, and perhaps legal things were not right top of my list of priorities, but she was able to answer any questions I had, reassure me over the worries that I had, but was totally honest. So I was very impressed with her on meeting her. She didn't just give legal advice either. She has obviously a lot of experience with personal injuries and amputees. The legal process obviously took a while. There was probably a year and a half of it, the criminal side of things, before the civil case could really get underway. Sally was able to get me an interim payment. Sally from the start advised that it should be 100% responsibility on the other side. When we saw the final offer that they made, we were very tempted to take it because it was a couple of years after the accident and we wanted some closure. Sally said, even though this is what the sort of figure we might have been expecting all along, because of all of the expert evidence that she'd gathered, that it was worth rejecting. So we took her advice, and I'm very glad that we did. So the case was eventually resolved, and we ended up with double the settlement that had been, double what had been offered. Towards the end of the case, Sally felt more like a friend than just a legal representative. She was doing her absolute best to maximise what we were going to get, what I was going to get in compensation. She made what was obviously a nasty situation as easy as it could possibly be, and got an amazing result for us at the end financially. And I'm delighted with the way that she and everyone else at Lead Day handled the case. The compensation that we've got has enabled us to start looking at properties now which are more suitable, which will be wheelchair accessible. It's enabled me to buy private prosthetics, including a waterproof leg, which enables me to go swimming, kayaking and all sorts of water-based activities, and it's taken a lot of pressure off financially. And in November 2011 I actually lost my job largely as a result of the accident and my mental state, and it would have been a huge issue had I not had that interim payment to pay for everyday living costs. I've also just taken delivery of a ski leg, which certainly wouldn't have been able to get on the NHS. That will enable me to get back to skiing, hopefully in the next couple of months, which is something I've been greatly looking forward to. We've had a final holiday before I get back into employment, and now looking forward positively to getting back into work and enjoying life, feeling a lot better than I have done for a long time. They have certainly made what was always going to be a difficult period of my life as easy as they could, and got a financial settlement which will help me live my life in the future as best as possible, and a big thank you to them. I'm feeling now that we've achieved closure. Chantal, my wife, and I have just come back from a month in Thailand, and we'd like to put it all behind us now, and just feeling much more positive than we have done in a long time, and looking forward to enjoying life again.